going on YouTube? I hope you guys can see something. It's fucking dark up in here. That's Ohio for you. In the wintertime, it's only going to get worse, at least for a little while. I mean, it's only, only 5:20 and it's dark as shit, so apologies. I want to talk real quick. We got some CPI, got some economic data out. Apparently in line with expectations, but inflation went from 2.4% to 2.6%. If you're following anything, stock market, Bitcoin, all that stuff jumped on the news. Actually, Bitcoin blew up, but then kind of came back to where it was earlier in the day off the news that we basically hit the expectation. I've said it before, but obviously stock market in general enjoys hitting expectations. They like when they can predict what's going to happen. And obviously hitting the expectations is showing them that they're predicting it correctly, so that's good news for them. But overall, not good news for us because, I mean, 2.6 isn't horrible, but we're headed in the wrong direction. We're supposed to be headed back towards 2%, and we just went up to 2.6. So not ideal. We'll have to just kind of wait and see where the trend goes. I mean, maybe this is just an outlier and we'll go back down next month in December. I have a feeling that will not happen, though, with the holidays and the spending and stuff like that. We'll see what happens overall. I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a thing. We hit expectation. If we would have missed way high, that would have been bad. And if we would have missed way low, in theory, that would be good because then inflation is dying down. But seems to be a little stickier than they thought. And like I said, we just have to kind of play that one by ear. Like I said, 2.6 isn't awful, but hey, if it comes down to you getting a raise this year at work and you get a 3 to 4% raise, just know you're really only getting like a 1.3% raise at 4%. So really, it's just going to keep eating into whatever you're earning. And I think it's the status, some crazy, like since Biden took office, or it might be from 2021, not necessarily when he took office. Inflation's up like 21% or something, and that's the government data. That is the official number, which is, I would say, in my opinion, low. There's no way it's only 21%. Judge it however you feel. That's on you, but I think it's more than 21%. Then the other thing I want to get into was Trump's coming out and making all his appointments. Basically, he's picking all these people for AG. What was the other one? Department of National Security, like the head of the National Security, SecDef, Secretary of Defense, all these things, all these appointed positions. He's starting to roll out who he's picking for him. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of out of my depth on this kind of thing. Like, I'm not into the politics on that level where I'm like, no, I know the names of these people, like the national security one, he's putting Tulsi Gabbard at the head of, who's actually an ex-Democrat, whatever. Like, I know who she is, but I don't know enough about the positions themselves, what they technically do, and then know enough about the person he's appointing to be like, oh, that's a good fit, you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. His border czar or whatever, people were getting fired up about that because the guy he put in charge seems to be real gung-ho about it, but I mean, that's the promise he made. That's kind of, overall, that's what the people want. Like, when it's polled, I think it's like a solid majority are like, hey, the border thing needs to be fixed one way or the other. It just needs to get fixed. And he's putting somebody in charge of it that seems like he ain't fucking around. Like, he seems pretty serious. In my mind, the one that's the most interesting is the one Elon and Vivek are a part of, that are the heads of the government efficiency one. Doge, whatever the fuck. I think it's stupid they keep fucking bringing this. I don't know why Elon likes this Doge shit so much. I feel like it's like the old meme. I don't know. That's like old head shit. I don't really get it. It's like weird. It's like when old people show you funny cat videos or something. That's like on the same plane to me. But besides the stupid naming, Department of Government Efficiency, good stuff. Obviously the acronym is what it is. Their purpose, though, is the good shit. This is what I was looking forward to, and I hope we'll see what happens. Because that's the thing with all this. This sounds great to me. Run this and do the best you can. Tell us where the money's going. Audit these motherfuckers, because money is flying out of every crevice of the United States government. So it's not going to be a bad thing to know where some of this money's going. And hey, it's going to probably hurt to see some of this, like how this money's getting wasted in all these crazy ways. But you need some transparency. It needs published. It needs shown to the people. And maybe some people will come around to be like, holy shit, why are we giving these people so much money for them to just waste it? So I hope that's what happens. But that comes to my other point that I wanted to make. And it sucks that it's like this, but really, until it happens, this is all talk. It's all bullshit. I put no stock. I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm not giving you any credit just because you appointed somebody to something, blah, blah, blah. I don't care that you made some new Department of Government Efficiency up. It doesn't matter until you actually do something and get some shit done. So until you give me some results and show me what is being achieved, you get no props in that way for me. I obviously give props that it's like, I appreciate you're taking the steps to do it. This is the right move. You're on the right path. But until you get something done, I could not give a fuck less. Like, it's not possible. It doesn't matter until you do it. Talk about it all day, talk about it all night, whatever. Doesn't matter. Get something done. Hand people a positive result. That's what we want to see. So it's great. Whoever he's appointed, I don't give a fuck. Me and my one buddy were talking about the RFK one. That all sounds great too. You gotta show me results. We gotta see a positive outcome. That's all that matters. Is there gonna be negatives that come along with the shit he's doing? Yes, like no doubt. It's impossible to do it perfect, but net we want to see positives, and honestly, in a lot of ways, I feel like there's so much bloat and waste and inefficiency in the government that it cannot be that hard to trim it out and be like, look at all this money we saved and look how we're still operating in the same capacity and all these things. But until it gets done, here's the hoping type thing. Like it doesn't matter until we see some results. And obviously Trump doesn't actually get in office until January anyway. And then these appointments I think have to be confirmed by the Senate, a lot of them at least. So there's a process we still got to go through to get it done. To go back to the government efficiency one, though, they're actually going to be done with their job, supposedly. It's technically not government, I guess. They're basically like an advising board. They don't have any power to cut funding or do anything like that. They're just going to recommend shit to, I'm assuming, directly to Trump and whoever he's puts in the head of trimming the government up. And there's a lot of people saying, I get what they're saying as a complaint, that's like, obviously Elon with Tesla and SpaceX and Vivek, whatever he owns company-wise, like if you put them in the government and said, cut this stuff according to what they say, cut this regulation, cut this or that, there's obviously a conflict of interest. So I think that's why they're trying to keep it separate. Is it really separate? I don't really know. But again, it comes down to the outcome. Honestly, if Elon cuts some kind of regulation that helps Tesla in some way, but overall it's a good regulation to cut, I don't give a fuck. Like, cut it. I don't care. Now, if you're cutting regulation to help Tesla, but fuck everybody else over, or fuck the American people over in some way, like some environmental regulation where they dispose of bad batteries in a way that damages a water supply or something. Like, I'm just making it up, but you know what I'm saying. It's all about the true result of how the policy plays out. So it's exciting. Like I said, it's kind of exciting to watch. Like, let's go. Let's see what happens. Do what you can do. You have the mandate. Oh, that was the other thing. The House was decided as far as the voting goes. Republicans have 218. That means they have, I don't know, what did somebody call it earlier? The trifecta. They have all three branches. The Republicans control all three branches. So if you can't get something done now, you got 2 years to get as much done as you can, and then persuade people for the House races that it was worth it, and then maybe they vote a couple more Republicans in, or at least hold it, and then you can get more done. But you got 2 years. You made a lot of promises. Trump came out in his speech, promises made, promises kept. You better fucking do it, because otherwise you lose it all in 2 years. You're gonna lose the House if you don't show the results. You gotta bring it to the table, get something done, and then make the people that supported you proud, I guess. Like, it can't be that hard. Just do what you said you were gonna do, and do it in the best way possible. Get it done. That's all I can say. I don't know. My overall thought, I'm like 70-30. I don't know how to break it up, honestly, on how. I think they will do a good job. I think overall we're going to end up in a better spot in 2 years like I said, economic stuff, I don't know. We're tiptoeing around like full recession. That's going to be a whole different ballgame. We'll see. But even if we go into recession, I feel like that's a different thing. If you can trim the government up, it's time to tighten the belt on the government. You got to trim it up, make it more efficient, streamline it, and get it moving in the right direction. If you can do that, that's a win in my book. Obviously, in my mind, recession stuff is not Trump's fault this time. I would say it's Biden's fault and Trump's fault the first time, because you guys have been spending money like fucking nobody's business since, since Bush or some shit. Like, all through the recession before, through 2008, we've been spending money like, it's insane. But if you can trim the government up, spend less money, and we go into a recession, hey, maybe we come out of it on a better foot, and the end result is positive. That's all in the future, and that's all to be seen. But hey, we can hope, I guess. That's all you can do now is hope that they do what they said they were going to do. That's just what it is. I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily a better system. They say what they're going to do, and if they don't do it, vote those motherfuckers out. I'll be the first one to turn on them. Obviously, I've made it pretty clear that I support the general ideas that Trump's representing. I don't really like him as a person like a lot of people do. I don't give a shit about that. But it's the same thing. I don't care about your personality, really. Give me results and give them to me fast, baby, because I don't care about anything else. Let's get something done, move it in a positive direction, and if not, I'll turn on your ass so fucking quick I don't care at all. And I feel like that's how it always should be. There should be no, I don't give a fuck, party, loyalty, nothing. Get something done positive. I don't care who does it. Just make it happen. So, let me know what you think. Drop a like on the video if you got something out of it. Dislike it if you didn't. Tell me why. Comment, say something. Let me know what the probability that we actually get some positive change out of this whole deal is, because that's really what I'm looking forward to. We'll see. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.